Hello happy souls, welcome back to my channel. This is Charlotte with Happy Twins 1111. My beautiful friends, I've got 3 piles for you today and we're asking, what does your person want to say? What do they want to say to you? Perhaps they're too afraid to, perhaps it's not possible for you guys to communicate at the moment, or they just can't find the right words. But this is what they want you to know. So I've got 3 piles. This is the Lioness Oracle Tarot with Himalayan quartz and fluorite inclusions. This is the Moonchild Tarot with amethyst, and this is the Apparition Tarot with hexagon quartz. So take your time choosing a pile. There's no right or wrong way. You can just, see which one you're drawn to. Take a look at the timestamps, which are in the comments section down below. And let's do this. I'm going to move pile 2 and 3 out of the way. Okay, pile 1. Now, I don't read with reversals in this deck, because they don't have reversible backs. So if they come out reversed, I'm going to flip them up the right way. Whilst I'm shuffling, don't forget to join me over on Instagram. I do mini reads over there. You can find me at happysouls1111.com. And do come and check out my Facebook group. I have a networking and support group there for twin flames and ascending souls. And it's always lovely to have new members and to support one another, because we do rise by lifting each other. So do check that out. You can find a link to that in the description box below. Okay, pile 1. What does your person want to say? We've got strength. We have got the Page of Pentacles, the Hierophant, Temperance. Wow, that's a big lineup. The Two of Swords, the King of Cups, the Seven of Cups, and the High Priestess. So I'm also going to use some of these cards which I've created myself. I just got some blanks and I've written messages on them. Let's see what we get from these. You are so much better than me. You will end up leaving me. Our lives are so different, I don't know how things can work between us. I may not tell you how I feel, but I am trying to show you. I know we are twin flames. This excites me and terrifies me. I push you away because I want you so much. It scares me. I don't want to get lost in wanting too much. You are so beautiful and kind. Don't ever think that I don't see that. Okay, and we're going to get some of these cards as well. This is the Divine Counterparts in Separation deck by Made for Love. You can find a link to her channel and her website where you can buy these down below. She's absolutely amazing. We've got Sorry, Please Forgive Me. Dead Inside. Justice. And I'm with them, but thinking about you. I'm just going to adjust the camera just to make sure these are all in shot. That's better. Now you can see them all. Okay. So the first thing that came through for me was sorrow. I do feel that this person carries a lot of shame. They hold a lot of regret about how things have worked out between you. They want you to know that they do have very strong feelings. And they wish they could. They wish they could express them to you, but they find it much easier to demonstrate how much they care through their actions. You know, I'm hearing specifically that they're trying to find a way to be useful to you. This person doesn't feel like they measure up, and it does say here, you're so much better than me, our lives are so different. I do feel like there are some major differences between you, both in lifestyle, in how you were raised. Your choices in life have kind of led you both down very different paths to one another. I'm feeling in particular that you, the viewer, has a lot of responsibility, and this person kind of feels quite immature and useless and a bit unnecessary in your life. They're not quite sure where they fit in. But they need you to understand that they do have significant self-worth issues, and this in part is what has kept them so stuck. They're very emotionally divided, is what I'm hearing. Now there's definitely a third party here. It does say here, I'm with them, but thinking about you. And we've also got the Justice card come up here. And their higher self is asking you to acknowledge and accept, for your own peace of mind, that they really have to learn these lessons that are being presented. This person's really stuck in the karmic wheel right now. But they are very sorry that you've been caught up in this drama that they're presently involved in. I feel like this person, with this emotional division, there's so many times where they're almost tearing their hair out with frustration that they keep being drawn back to this other person. I'm hearing that's a very toxic situation. It's had a dramatic impact on their mental health, their emotional well-being, and they do see the toxicity that exists in this other connection, but they also feel powerless to move away from it. And that they're asking you to understand that this is a rite of passage. It's a trial by fire. They have to resolve this karma, and they're drawn back to it because it needs resolving. It's not personal. It's not because they don't have feelings for you. They really are very, very sorry. As I said, this was the first energy that came through. And we also have the Page of Pentacles here, which for me is another card that indicates messages of apology. A big part of why this person can't express how they feel is because they don't feel. They need you to understand how dark this energy they currently reside in is. We've got Scorpio energy here, the King of Cups as well. Now, the King of Cups is traditionally very loving and very mature in his ability to love and his outlook of love, but he's also very mysterious, very secretive. And a Scorpio is also very comfortable in those low vibrational energies. They're built to go to that dark place. And with this Dead Inside card being here, this apology really does extend for me, mostly for their ability that they don't express how they feel. And I feel you've been waiting a long time to just hear something from them. I'm hearing, come on, throw a bitch a bone, but I think you've learned to recognize, and they're grateful for this, you've learned to recognize that, if they didn't care about you, they wouldn't still be around. And this person always comes back to you. They can't quite let you go. And they do wish they could choose you, but they're trying to help you understand through the messages coming through here why it's not the right time for you to. They're definitely in a very transformative stage. And through the triggering that's occurring between you, and I'm hearing for them especially, this really is the key to forward progress. So they want to reassure you that even though things have felt tumultuous and very unbalanced between you recently, that the choices you've made, both of you, weren't wrong, even though they may feel like they are. It was all divinely guided and driven towards this karmic shifting, resolution, learning, and definitely towards your person shifting into a higher wisdom. Things have to be brought into balance, and that can only happen when each of you has the space to focus on your individual lessons. I'm hearing the owl is significant for some of you, and that's an important message to come through, that you may have been seeing a lot of owls. There are actually a lot of animals coming through in this reading in general, but I was particularly drawn to the owl and to mention that. Owls are also representative of the darkness. And I feel with this person, with their mental health concerns and being in this dark place, again, they have to be what's the word here? They have to go through this rite of passage. They have to move through the dark in order to unlock all of that wisdom. This is part of their predestined journey for them to go through this period of darkness. So this emotional and mental divide that they struggle with. They're asking you as well just to be aware that this is it's something that occurs predominantly within their 3D self. Because what I'm hearing is that their 5D self is very balanced and committed in this connection. And they're always, always thinking about you. And it's through this 5D connection, the astral planes, the telepathy that occurs between you, the chats you have before you sleep at night, the constant touching base with one another. It does feel like a very, very deep, very triggering, in fact, connection. I'm hearing that even when you are not communicating in the 3D, you're still working together to ascend and grow and to learn. You're still triggering one another through those interactions that occur in the 5D. And actually your 5D relationship is very balanced and very beautiful. And this is where your person can really communicate how they feel, because it feels so easy, it feels so much safer, and doesn't, it kind of incur all of that negative, anxious emotion that transpires when you connect in a 3D. And this person definitely understands that you are twins, and I feel this is how it's through that telepathic and astral weirdness that occurs between you that they've come to Google and to search and to recognize this. It's quite possible you've never actually discussed it with them. I feel like they've noticed the signs, they've noticed all of the really strange things that occur between you. And it does say here, I know that we're twin flames, but this does excite me and terrify me. And I feel this is a big part of the reason, again, why they don't express themselves in the 3D. Because the thought of actually saying, those chats we have in our heads, like, are they real? Getting that confirmation leaves them wide open. It makes them feel very, very vulnerable. And so they probably are very reluctant to discuss this in the 3D with you. It feels much safer and much more comforting to keep it, under your hat. I push you away because I want you so much. It scares me. I don't want to get lost in wanting too much. And again, it says here, you're probably going to end up leaving me. And again, I do feel these differences between you, and certainly this inferiority complex that this person has, it does inhibit them from actually visualizing a positive outcome from this situation. But I'm hearing that this is also very deeply rooted in their anxious state, that this person is by nature pessimistic. Again, you may be dealing with a Scorpio here, but we've also got Leo energy, Pisces energy, Taurus energy. It feels like they need you to know as well that even though the choices they've made aren't conducive to you two being together, again, they're asking me to clarify that it's not personal. That's the most significant message that has to come through today for you. You need to release this idea that this person isn't with you because they don't want to be or because they don't love you. I'm hearing that you've really knotted yourself up in terms of, jumping to very extreme conclusions about this other person they're involved with, the relationship. You may have even come to doubt the nature of the connection that exists between you and them, and to question the connection they have with this other person. So this person wants you to they're asking you to be logical when you reflect on this. They're asking you to remember the conversations you've had about this other relationship, in which they've communicated their emotional division, their confusion, their inability to turn their back on it, and a lack of understanding surrounding why that is. It feels like you've often assumed this person's just giving you lip service. They're just saying what you want to hear. But I do feel they have been very honest with you. And they do have history with this person. And regardless of how difficult things are in a relationship, it is always very hard to let go. Even when it's you that wants to let go, or even when you're very unhappy, actually leaving another relationship behind is very, very stressful. And they're asking you to think about when you've had to leave relationships, even that you were ready to leave, that weren't good for you. They're asking you to remember how difficult and painful that can be. And for this person feeling stuck where they are and knowing how much this hurts you, as I said, creates a tremendous amount of shame on their part and unnecessary pain on your part. And they want to try and alleviate that. You know, this person really wants to try and help you feel more confident in their love for you. But they're not able to say this to you right now. I'm hearing specifically, again, you know, this is a lot of this is to do with this energy they're in and the fact that they don't actually feel, you know, there's an awareness that they have love for you, but they don't feel able to actually connect with what's going on in their heart space. They do feel somewhat detached from the energy of love and from the feeling of love. And so this can also make them appear cold or uncaring. But as I said, this person's asking you to allow them to support you, to allow them to be there for you. They know they can't offer you everything that you want at this point, but they do want to offer you something. They want to demonstrate their care through being there for you. And I'm hearing that you're not always very good at receiving care or support, even though you tell yourself that you really want it, that actually, you know, you're the sort of person that out of politeness will quite often reject support. And this person's really asking you, to allow them in, to allow them to support you, to give something back. So I'm going to take this over to the extended now. We're going to take a deeper look at what this person wants to say, how they're feeling and thinking, and what they need you to know about how you can best support this connection and best move it forward. So I really hope this was helpful for you, part one. If you did enjoy it and it resonates, you can find a link to the extended reading in the description box below. Otherwise, I'll see you next time, and do hit the like button if you enjoyed the video. It really does help my channel to grow. And if you feel so inclined and you'd like to see more readings like this, tap the subscribe button and you'll get an update from me every time I post. See you soon. Bye. Hello, part two. Right, let's do this part two. What does your person want to say? We've got the Moonchild for you with Amethyst. And whilst I'm shuffling, don't forget to check me out on Instagram. You can find me at Happy Souls 1111. Don't forget to check out my Facebook group, and don't forget to leave a note in the comments of which pile you chose today, because all of my readings are timeless, you know, so you can dig back through those old playlists and find other pick piles. But when you make a note of which one you've watched, you'll know not to go over the same ground again. So it's really helpful to make a note in the comments of which pile you chose. And it's also lovely for me to get your feedback down in the comments. I love seeing what you guys have to say. Okay, so what does your person want you to know? Right, we have got the Knight of Swords in reverse. We've got the Hanged Man in reverse. We've got the Eight of Pentacles. The Moonchild in reverse. A lot of blocked energies here. The Page of Wands. The Seven of Pentacles in reverse. The Three of Wands. And Judgment. Okay. Right, I'm going to use some of these cards as well. These are just blanks that I've written on myself with messages. So let's see what comes out here for you. Oh, I've got one already. I'm not as experienced as you, and this makes me feel inferior. I am lost. You got me wrong. I do care. I just don't know how to show you that. I'm ready. I'm trying, but I'm also scared. Please be patient. Everything is going to be okay. Whatever happens, I will always love you. And I fear I can never live up to your expectations. We're going to get some of these cards as well. These are the Divine Counterparts in Separation deck by Made for Love. You can find a link to her channel and her website where you can buy these down below. She's absolutely fabulous. Do check her out if you haven't already. We've got our spiritual beliefs are so different. I'm sorry, please forgive me. The deadly sins and abundance. Okay, let me just check that you can see all of these. Yes, you can. Okay. So, I'm just going to move it down a touch. Okay, part 2. What does your person want to say? First and foremost, this person wants to apologise for having been completely AWOL. I'm hearing that there's just no communication here. There's no action. There's no forward movement. This person has been absent for some time, but I'm hearing that they do want to communicate with you, and that this communication is already in motion. It may have happened very recently, or it's about to. But this person is really sorry that they've been, I'm hearing, quite harsh as well. They said some things they really regretted. And these were things intended to push you away. They regret it very much. I'm hearing that it was also kind of, what people, sometimes men call shit tests. Sort of, how far is this boundary? And you may have expressed quite how much you love this person. I guess they didn't believe it, so they tested it. And I do believe that after the way they behaved, you had no choice but to walk away, because this person breached the boundary in a really ugly way. And as a matter of self-respect and self-preservation, you had to walk away. And I'm hearing this person was very unreliable. They could be quite disrespectful. I'm hearing double standards was a problem for you. This person may appear very misogynistic, even though that's not representative of their true self. And so this person really presented you with a lot of very immature player energy, a lot of games. And the first thing that comes through is how sorry they are. And indeed, we have got that "I'm sorry, please forgive me" card here. So this person wants you to know and to understand that those behaviours were symptomatic of their immature state. And even though they demonstrated a massive lack of care, actually this person cares very, very, very much. They've really struggled to surrender to and to invest in this connection. And I'm hearing it's their fear that keeps them back. I can never live up to your expectations. I'm not experienced as you. And it feels like this is quite common with divine masculine energy, but again, that kind of just very low self-worth. The thing is, you're such an accomplished person, and abundance and success and accomplishment and achievement is something which I feel has come naturally to you your whole life. You may have not necessarily been raised in the perfect conditions, but sometimes adversity is what actually makes us stronger and makes us all more able to achieve. We all respond differently, don't we, to different environmental factors. And I feel like you both actually had similarities in terms of how your childhood was dysfunctional or perhaps not supportive of a successful outcome, but you've made it so. And I feel like this person's saying, because we did kind of come from, the same difficulties, they feel so ashamed that you've made something better of it than they've been able to. For them, this shines up a mirror of failure at them. It's kind of like, well, look, this person had the same baggage and yet they've achieved where you failed. So they're asking you to understand how much that burns them. And I feel this person has previously chosen relationships with people that did feel inferior to them. So they could have that strength in their ego, that they were somewhat superior. So they may have chosen people that were, not intellectually challenging, or, that had even more issues or less success in life than they have had themselves, because it allowed them more easily to step into that provider, role to be the man. It helped them feel like they could still be the man. So they're asking you to understand that this is a major challenge for them, and they know it's something they need to overcome at a personal level. It's not for you to change or to dim your own light, to satisfy their ego. There is an awareness here that these limiting beliefs they hold about themselves, and the way you trigger this envy and this jealousy and this inferiority in them, they're very ashamed of that and very frustrated. They do recognize how destructive that is, but they do feel somewhat powerless in terms of how to resolve it. And again, we've got these deadly sins here: greed, envy, power, jealousy, you know, all of those things that they really, you know, those negative emotions which they feel very ashamed for attaching to you. They do want this to work out. And there is a request here for you to be patient, to trust that your ships are going to come in. It does say here, you know, everything is going to be okay. Whatever happens, I will always love you. You know, they just need you to remember that this is an eternal connection, and that the experience you're having now in the 3D realm is conducive to the growth and progress of this connection. I mean, they're also saying, I'm ready. You know, I am trying, but I'm scared, and please be patient with me. And again, you know, there is a need for patience here, because I feel like even though this person has developed a tremendous amount of self-awareness and is ready to open the lines of communication again, or has done so already, they're still working through a ton of issues. You know, it does say here, I'm lost. You know, this person's working hard now to build in some of this abundance. That's a more important factor for them than you could probably ever realize. But again, they want you to just know that you've got them wrong. You know, that they behaved in these unpleasant ways because they didn't have faith or believe in your love. And even though it was a double-edged sword, because by behaving the way they did, they were almost certain to lose you and push you away. In some ways, it's also allowed them to trust in your love. And I feel like you handled it in a really dignified way. You know, you've wished them well, you've not wished them harm. You've kind of partially left the door open, but I feel like you also drew a line in the sand and said, you know, I can't be treated like this. So, you know, they need you to know that a lot of the things they did and said weren't real or true or indicative of how they feel. I do feel that this person is having very spiritual experiences. I feel like they're noticing a lot of weirdness in this connection. A lot of strange and bizarre synchronicities have occurred recently that they simply don't understand. And I'm hearing that they don't really feel very ready for. Their soul is being called right now. They need you to know how terrifying that is for them. But I feel that this person has found a lot of comfort in the scientific explanations, the very masculine, science-driven discussions that are occurring right now about spirituality. I'm hearing specifically Abraham Hicks, Dr. Joe Dispenza, these kind of very masculine, instruction-oriented kind of self-development gurus. I'm hearing law of attraction is a particularly strong one for them. You know, this is where all this hard work is coming in and working towards being able to provide you with this fulfillment and this accomplishment and abundance. So it does appear that they're doing something really positive with all of that inferiority that they're feeling. However, you know, they're still labouring under the illusion that having more material achievement, accomplishment, ownership and gain is somehow going to resolve that feeling of being inferior. And of course it isn't. It may help them feel temporarily better, but really they're rooting that confidence in their material world, in the 3D, whereas really it's something that needs to go within. They're not understanding that yet. But they're asking you to be patient with them and to recognise this aspect of their spiritual journey as being one that's beneficial for both of you, and also can offer you some reassurance that that daughter spirit is opening for them. You know, that they are growing through this experience, and that things are moving in the right direction for both of you. So there's definitely a lot happening behind the scenes. As far as this person's is concerned, that's all for you, you know, and they need you to know that they are beavering away, trying to make things happen. I don't know why I chose the word beavering away. I think the word beaver or the term beaver might be significant for some of you. But yeah, this person does want to try, but above all else, they need you to know how sorry they are, and that, you know, they do care, even though they recognise they've not treated you like someone they really do. So I'm going to take this into the extended. We're going to have a deeper look at how they're thinking and feeling, what else they want to say about their feelings and about what's coming next, and how you can best support one another. So if this resonated for you, you can find a link to the extended reading in the description box below and in the timestamps by the comments. Anyway, I will see you next time. Please do hit the like button. It really does make such a huge difference to my channel. As a small thank you, I really appreciate you tapping that. And also, if you would like to see more content like this, make sure you hit the subscribe button, tap the bell icon, and you will get a notification every time I post. So thank you so much, Pile 2. I'll see you next time. Bye. Hello, Pile 3. Let's do this. What does your person want to say to you? Maybe they can't say this to your face. Perhaps you guys aren't in communication. Let's see what's coming up for you. So this is the Apparition Tarot that you've chosen. And you've chosen the Hexagon Clear Quartz. I'm going to pull some Oracle cards as well. So what does your person want to say to you, Pile 3? What do they need you to know the most? We've got the Knight of Cups in reverse. We've got the Seven of Cups in reverse. We've got the Hanged Man in reverse. And we've got the Page of Cups in reverse. I'm just going to give these cards another riffle shuffle so you can see, you know, they are evenly distributed and shuffled. Obviously, if they're reversed, it has a different meaning, but I just want to do another couple of riffle shuffles to reassure you, you know, that I do shuffle them. Because a lot of people comment when there's lots of reversals, everyone's like, oh my God, they're all upside down. It's like, well, yeah, let's just read them as they come out. Okay, what else do we got? The Sun, the Queen of Pentacles, the Five of Swords, and these are all the other way up, how funny, and the Ace of Swords. Okay, now I'm going to use some of these cards. These are just blank cards that I have written messages on myself. So you can't buy these, I'm afraid. But I'm going to use these today. Right, let's have a look. We have got, you've got me wrong. I do care. I just don't know how to show you that. I am so proud of how far you've come. You inspire me every day. You are always on my mind, every second, every minute, every day. I know that we are twin flames. This excites me and terrifies me. This card has come up such a lot lately. If you knew the real me, you might not feel the same. I am not as experienced as you, and this makes me feel so inferior. And we're going to get some of these divine counterparts in separation cards. These are by Made for Love. You can find a link to her fabulous channel in the description box below. We've got Weight on Me. I wish I could be with you. Strength and Torn Between Two Lovers. And don't forget to make a note, you guys, of which pile you watched. Put it down in the comments, because these are all timeless readings. You can check out all my other pick a card readings in the playlist. But if you make a note of which one you've watched already, you're not going to, you know, double watch. You know to find yourself a new pile next time. Okay, so what does your person want to say? I'm getting a really strong age gap energy with this spread. I'm just going to move the camera down so you can definitely see them all. There we go. I get a very strong age gap energy with this spread. I feel like this person is young and they have a lot of growing to do. And the first thing that's coming up is, you know, I can't come forward right now. I can't, I'm not ready. I can't come forward right now. And we've also got this Weight on Me card. Now, I've got to be honest, I don't like people that ask you to wait, okay? My attitude is that we can cause ourselves a lot of pain by waiting. And, you know, patience really is a virtue, but you know, I don't want you to take this too literally. You're not to put your life on hold. Now, this person is very fearful of losing you. I do really feel they're much younger than you and they have a lot of growing to do. For some of you, if there's not a literal age gap, this could just mean that they're at a stage in their life where a lot of growth is required and they have to see this stage or phase through. But they do recognize what is happening between you. You know, this person wants you to know that they are coming back to you, but they can't avoid this process of growth, which is very important. They have to find their own light. They couldn't be what you want them to be right now, even if they wanted to. Again, with this youth thing, I'm not as experienced as you, and this makes me feel so inferior. So it just feels like this person is at a point in their life where there is a tremendous amount of upheaval, change, transition, growth, and they really do need to see it through. And again, you know, they're saying, I know you think that I don't choose you or that I don't want you, but I really do. And again, here it says, I wish I could be with you. With this Queen of Pentacles energy, they really do see you as the happy ever after, the wife material. You are such a nurturing energy to them. They see you as the mother of their children. They want you to know how much they really care and love you, but they can't surrender to this connection right now. You know, we've got the Hangman in reverse. This person right now is unable to rise up and meet you. I'm hearing you're in this very strong, independent, accomplished, very stable and balanced energy. This Queen of Pentacles, you may be a mother, a single parent. You know, you've done all of those grown up, responsible things. You've made strides. This person hasn't. I feel it's caused a tremendous amount of conflict between you. And they're saying, you know, that conflict doesn't need to be there. It doesn't serve any of us. They're also asking you to be aware of how you assert yourself and tend to dominate or attack during conflict, because for you this is demonstrative of strength, and it's how you've been forced to be in previous relationships. They're asking you to address how unhelpful this is in this connection. You know, it's about judgment. It's about judgment and non-acceptance, because you're very frustrated that they simply won't commit. They simply won't take the actions that you want them to take. And this causes a tremendous amount of conflict and judgment. And you don't see that they need to be anything more than they are. In your mind, you are accepting them as they are. You're saying, I don't need you to be different. I just want you as you are now. And they're saying, but I need to grow. I need to do these things first. And in real terms, you're not accepting them. You are judging their choices. You are judging them for not giving you what you want. You're saying you're wrong. You should just be with me. You're good enough as you are. You know, but it's how they feel about themselves that needs to be resolved. Now, I'm hearing that more recently, this person may have become involved with someone else. And I say more recently because it feels like you know, this person stepped away saying, I need to grow, I need to learn, and that a lot of this conflict may have arisen because despite saying this to you, they may have become involved with someone else. Now, I'm hearing there is some truth in this. I don't feel that this other connection they were involved in was necessarily karmic. I feel it was more a rite of passage for them. You know, that they're exploring companionship and relationships with people perhaps more of a more relatable age. They may not have been entirely honest with you about this. I am feeling that they may have denied it. They may have denied anything was happening, but there is a message here that them saying it was true. I don't think they were really torn. You know, I think they were more torn about whether or not they should tell you because they didn't want to hurt you. But I do feel that this person, you know, has had and probably will have other relationships. It does feel, again, the age gap energy keeps coming through. It feels like it's quite significant for you guys. Or as I said, if there's not a literal age gap, it just feels like this person's catching up. There's so many things that they still need to experience yet that you've already experienced. And, you know, they need to go through that process themselves. It feels like because of their rejection of you and them saying, you know, I can't do this right now, I can't be this person right now, you know, that you've taken this as a very personal rejection. Again, it feels like here this is immaturity. This person has been unable to communicate from a place of real emotional depth. And so they've not been able to offer you any of the loving messages or reassurance that would have really helped you feel a lot better about their decision. And so this is coming through very strongly now. They need you to understand you know, how big those feelings are. And in particular here, as I said, with this Queen of Pentacles, they really do see you as the one, you know, as just everything they could want. And it sounds like such a contradiction that in feeling that they would want to step away. But again, it just feels like they know deep within them that now is not the time. They just weren't able to surrender to this connection or to allow themselves to be invested in it. There's this awareness that there's just more that they have to do, and they just need you to accept and understand that. They want you to believe it because they see how much pain it causes you. And again, you know, I'm so proud of you. You know, you really do inspire them with your strength. You're always on my mind. You know, I know that we are twins, and please wait on me. I wish I could be with you. So, you know, but this person has this growing to do, and they do feel that if they don't grow, it probably won't last. They're thinking, you know, if she knew who I really am, she probably wouldn't feel the same about me. So there's definitely things that are hidden from you at this time as well, as far as this person's concerned. There are things that they don't feel that they can reveal about themselves because they fear your judgment. They fear that you would be non-accepting. I'm hearing for them also that learning to be out on a limb on their own, this is more of a rite of passage related to this journey than you might realise. They're saying each of you needs to learn to be whole in your divinity, in your independence, and in your heart. Also in your sexuality. This person hasn't had sexual freedom. Again, I feel like they're very inexperienced at life. This might not be because of their age. Again, it could be that they've been tied down some other which way that hasn't allowed them to grow up or have the same experiences as you have. But yeah, it feels like there's catching up to do. And they have this kind of curious, inquisitive nature about life as well. They're aware that once they choose you and come forward with that offer, that it's the forever. And there's just something that niggles at them, you know, which tells them that it's just not time. And it isn't time. You know, that it definitely isn't time here. I feel really guided to get another couple of cards for you guys. There's something else they want to say about the nature of this connection as it stands now that they want to say to you. We've got the World. We've got the Nine of Wands in reverse. We've got Strength in reverse. One more. And the Wheel of Fortune. So, I'm just hearing from them to you, you know, you are my everything. I think the world of you and you are my world. Please don't give up on us. Keep the faith. Align with your light. Align with your spiritual knowing. Look how beautiful this card is. The Nine of Wands is about endurance. Pink is the colour of spirit and the soul star chakra. But we see someone praying here. 9 is also the number of solitude. It's the number of the hermit. And they're praying. They're completely embodied by the pink light, the spirituality and their divinity. And for me, this card coming up in the reverse, you know, it's saying, please don't give up. Focus on your divinity. Allow yourself to be completely embodied by this light, by the spiritual truth of our connection. Allow yourself to embrace the power of solitude. It's in this that you're going to find your power. You know, this person really needs you to rise above your present circumstances, to rise above your ego that's so angry that you're not getting what you want, and recognize that the love that exists between you is eternal. You are twin flames. It's there whether you see it, hear it, or believe it. It never goes away. In your acceptance, you know, you can find that faith and knowing, but you have to connect in the first place. So for sure, this person's drawing to attention how you already have access to their love, that they are in you, that they are in everything, and that you're already connected. You're already in union. You're already complete in one another's love. But you have to stay faithful. You have to endure this journey and recognize that neither one of you right now is strong enough hold this connection together. Now, this is a really interesting strength card. You can see down here this kind of sullen angel. We've got another angel here in someone's trap. Now, let's not forget what strength is about. And this card has come up twice to you. It's in number 8 in both of them. In the traditional tarot, the strength depicts an angel holding open the mouth of a lion. And what we're actually seeing illustrated there is that she tames the beast with her big compassionate heart, not with assertion or aggression. I remember this came up for you earlier with this conflict that you guys are prone to, that you can be, really angry sometimes and really aggressive in your approach to conflict. And you're really being asked to recognize, that whilst it may be kind of tangled up and trapped, that, there is real strength and compassion in both of you. But this needs to be brought back into balance. This is what you're both working at. How to transmute the shadow aspects that cause you to behave in destructive ways and that keep you from truly loving unconditionally, from truly connecting with that strength of love and compassion in your heart space. And with this Wheel of Fortune energy, this is about trusting in fate and trusting in destiny and trusting in divine timing and the divine plan. This is reassuring you that everything is constantly in motion and that every day, second by second, you're inching closer and closer to where you need to be. So I guess the most powerful overall message here is that I do care, but you have to give me that time and you have to realize we both need this time and that we are together. They do care very much. So I'm going to take this over to the extended read. We're going to take a deeper look at what this person wants to say about their thoughts and feelings and intentions. And we're going to get some guidance from your person, asking them what they need you to know about how this connection is going to unfold in the near future and what you can do to support this connection for the highest good of both of you. So if you've really enjoyed this reading and it's resonated, you can find a link to the extended reading in the description box below, also down in the comments by the timestamps. So I really hope you enjoyed it and that you'll join me there. Do hit the like button as well. It takes 2 seconds and honestly it makes the biggest difference to my channel. I appreciate you doing that so much. If you've enjoyed this reading, by way of gratitude, just hit the like button. It really does help my channel to grow. And the same for subscribing. A lot of people don't bother subscribing because it's easy for them to just type in, Happy Twins 1111 and bring up my most recent readings. But if you subscribe, you will get a notification when I post. And again, that kind of engagement really helps my channel to grow. So I appreciate it so much. So thank you so much, Path 3. I will see you next time. Bye.